So, who got tagged? Who got traded? And where could the best free agents land? We're going to try to find the answers to those questions and a lot more as we get you ready for the first of our off-season shows. And what a show it is. We got some free agent frenzy to talk about, and we're going to do it tonight right here on Fantasy Football Fever, which starts right about now. Hey, y'all. I know it's been a while, but we are back here. It's once again time for Fantasy Football Fever. It is Sunday night, March 9th, 2025. Great to have you with us. We was going to do this show this past Friday, but Friday was my birthday, and well, I had a couple of friends. They wanted me to take me out for dinner on Friday night, and it was wonderful. I had a little Mexican food.
Ooh.
So I went to one of the best Mexican restaurants here in town. So I had a wonderful time. My body feels a little bit older, but my inner spirit feels young as always. So I try to be a little bit optimistic about aging, So anyway, my name is Tim McClellan. This man over here, our league commissioner John Natali. How you doing?
Yep, doing good.
All right. John Flynn is at work right now, the host of Hooked on Sports, but hopefully before we go off the air, he'll jump on here to give us some insight on, oh my gosh, everything that's been happening the last 3 weeks, especially not in the last 3 weeks, but maybe the last 3 hours.
Yeah.
We had so much to talk about here. Oh my goodness. I mean, it is crazy what's been going on here lately in the NFL with free agency coming up, and we already had some trades. We already have contract extensions. So I'm gonna start with right here on ESPN.com. Looking at some trades here. The first one I see here. The Seattle Seahawks traded their quarterback Geno Smith to the Las Vegas Raiders for a 2025 third-round pick. Contingent on Smith's next contract, the Raiders' grade would now be probably up to a B, and the Seahawks' grade is a little C minus. But I guess a good thing about it is that Geno Smith is reunited with Pete Carroll.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, so I mean, with that crazy NFC West that went on last week, have any thoughts about this one?
Ooh, yeah, I think this looks like the Seahawks are. I think they're in rebuild mode. Looks like they're getting rid of a lot of guys. Yeah, in just a matter of days, they got rid of Geno Smith, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett.
Yes, let me see about that. DK Metcalf, you just mentioned him, and let's go ahead and talk about DK Metcalf. Let me see where my messages are. We've been trading messages on here. Yes, DK Metcalf signing a 5-year, $150 million deal with the Steelers. So, wow. I think I kind of like that one. I think Steelers are getting a little bit better on the offense.
Oh yeah. That very much improves their offense. Yeah, he's got somebody to pair up with the George Pickens.
Oh yeah. So we're going to be talking about that. trade that happened earlier this past week. The San Francisco 49ers traded their wide receiver Deebo Samuel to the Washington Commanders.
Ooh, yeah, they might be the team to beat in that NFC East. That's got a pretty lethal core now. Somebody you could pair him up with Scary Terry.
Yeah, Scary Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel. That's going to make a very formidable receiving core up there. So, according to ESPN, the Commanders are going to get a B. The 49ers are going to get a B plus. There's just contention on what happens there.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. Next we have well, that's an offensive guard out there. The Bears trade for Jonah Jackson.
Hmm.
So the Bears get Jonah Jackson from the LA Rams. The Rams will get a 2025 sixth-round pick. Let's see, we got right here. Oh, one of the best guards in the NFL, Joe Tooney, has been traded from the Chiefs to the Bears for a 2026 fourth-round pick. So, to me, that would be a little bit more protection for Caleb Williams.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, Bears still have a long way to go, but if they do well in the draft, continue to make trades, stuff like that, yeah, then they might be better this coming season.
Yeah, they might. The Houston Texans, they're getting Christian Kirk from the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Jaguars are going to get a seventh-round 2026 pick. So that improves the receiving core for Houston right there a little bit.
Yeah, the Jags do need a lot of help. They've had a rough past couple of seasons.
It says here, Aaron Jones, he got a 2-year, $20 million contract extension from the Vikings today. So, well, yeah, that came down. That came down a little while ago.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Now it's because now it remains to be seen who the next Vikings quarterback is going to be. Because I think they're not expecting Sam Darnold to come back. I mean, could they be going to Daniel Jones, get a new quarterback? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah, they're gonna, because they obviously did not tag Donald,
right?
And I don't think they're going to come up with a contract deal. So it looks like they're probably going to let him go and try to work in JJ McCarthy.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, McCarthy for sure.
Yeah. So that's going to be a factor right there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. You see Aaron Jones here. Yeah, Aaron Jones, he had 225 rushes for 1,138 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 51 receptions. Let me see this here. I got to extend that a little bit. Let me get to this page here. Go look at Aaron Jones, and yeah, he averaged. Okay, let's see here. Let's take a look. The 2000. Yes, Aaron Jones had 255 carries for 1,138 yards, 5 touchdowns. He also had 51 receptions for 408 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did fumble the ball 5 times and lost 3 of them, but so it looks like Aaron Jones is going to be locked up there for a little while. Okay, I gotta get this. I mean, I should have been better prepared for this show, but so many things going on here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what was I talking about here? Oh yeah. Where's the
I think one minor thing. I think the Browns I think they extended Myles Garrett for 4 more years, I believe.
Yes. Let's see here. We talk about this big story here. Saquon Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, looks like old Howie Roseman's at it again. I was thinking this year, what does Howie Roseman do for an encore?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, he's done the first thing here. So he signed a 3-year, $37.75 million contract, including $26 million guaranteed.
Wow.
So if I'm not mistaken, he is going to be I think he is the highest paid running back in the NFL right now, and
Mm-hmm.
why not? I mean,
Yeah.
what a season he had last year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He came this close to breaking Eric Dickerson's 40-year-old
Yeah.
rushing record, most rushing yards in a season.
Right. Yeah, but I'm sure if they had something to play for, like if they were fighting for the division, if they were still fighting for a division title, he definitely would have been playing.
Oh yeah, they were going to do that here. Looks like yeah. Let me get to Saquon's page here. Oh yeah, 345 carries, which led him to 2,005 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns, 33 receptions for 278 yards and 2 touchdowns. Only fumbled the ball twice, lost one time, but so I mean, not only is he a great rusher, he's got great hands holding on to the ball. It's hard to get the ball out of his way when you're trying to defend him.
Right.
But definitely a well-deserved extension for Saquon Barkley right there. You did mention Myles Garrett, so let's talk about that one. It's a record contract, averaging $40 million per year, including a $123.5 million guaranteed money, highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Cleveland Browns, are they desperate or something? I mean,
this team's a dumpster fire, basically.
I mean, they've been a dumpster fire for the longest time.
Yep.
I mean, maybe they did this out of desperation, or they probably wouldn't be able to find another person like him, like if they wanted to make a trade.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about a week or so ago that Myles Garrett was looking to make a trade, and I also heard that Micah Parsons might have been traded out of the Cowboys.
Mm.
So my thought process was, why not send Garrett to the Cowboys and send Parsons to the Browns?
Oh, yeah, very interesting point. Yeah.
That might have worked out something for both teams there.
Oh, yeah.
So this past season, he became the first, according to ESPN, first player to report 100 career sacks before his 29th birthday. Defensive Player of the Year 2023, and he was second in the NFL last year in sacks with 14. Of course, Garrett was drafted by the Browns with the #1 overall pick in 2017. And since then, he has a total of 102.5 sacks for his career, which is only second to TJ Watt of the Steelers, who has 108 sacks.
Ooh.
So great for Myles Garrett there. Looks like Zach Ertz is going to re-sign with the Commanders. Got a 1-year deal worth $6.25 million. with a maximum value of $9 million. He is sixth on the all-time receptions list at tight end with 775. Kind of found a new home there. Had a little career resurgence in Washington. Caught 66 passes for 654 yards and 7 touchdowns. So now you got Deebo Samuel, you got Scary Terry McLaurin, you got Zach Ertz. So it looks like oh my God, what's that quarterback's name in Washington?
Oh, Jane Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, yes. Looks like he's going to be locked up with those guys, and it's going to be a very, very tough offense. I mean, they're stacking up, and it looks like they could contend with the Eagles, who, of course, they played in the NFC Championship game last year. And so the NFL woke up tonight and chose violence. Vampire, I think you may have to explain yourself.
Yeah, I think he's
one.
referencing Myles Garrett, I believe. So I thought he had some kind of history at one point, but I can't remember for sure. But I think that's what he means.
Oh yeah, it was that time when I can't remember who they were playing, but Myles Garrett was kind of, I think it was the Steelers. It was the Browns and the Steelers, if I'm not mistaken. When Myles Garrett kind of threw his helmet at someone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he's referring to.
I think that might have done. Yeah, 4 massive deals in the space of 8 hours. I mean, yeah. Yeah, they got some. Yeah, they had that going here. So let's take a look. Someone can help me with some other deals here. I'm taking a look at some.
Let's see. Wait, did we do this one? I can't remember if we talked about this, but Devontae Adams signed a 2-year deal with the Rams.
Oh yeah, I heard about that earlier. Devontae Adams to the Rams. So with I think Puka Nacua and DK
Cooper Kupp
and Cooper Kupp.
That's a pretty solid big 3 if Cooper Kupp can stay healthy.
Yeah, if Kupp can stay healthy, and if Stafford can stay the course, I think that would be a very tough team in the NFC West right there.
Yeah. Well, so on the defensive side, I'm seeing here that the Chiefs are re-signing linebacker Nick Bolton to a $45 million extension.
Oh, yes, they do need him. They do need him. Get Mason Rudolph for Steelers. Oh, I think he's referring to if they want to go ahead and keep Russell Wilson, or if they want to let him go and just try to bring up Jaden Daniels a little bit. No, Justin Fields. That's what I'm talking about. Justin Fields here. Let's see. Mercy says, I thought Cooper Kupp was an impending free agent. I have to look that one up a little bit.
Yeah, let's see. Let me check that out.
Okay. Happy belated birthday, by the way. Well, thank you very much, Vampire. Appreciate it. How crazy is it? A day before deals Adams to the Rams is least news already. It was Mason Rudolph who Myles Garrett tried to first degree. Oh. It was Myles Garrett throwing the helmet at Mason Rudolph. I think that's what it was.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Now it's coming back now, a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that incident. So, so we talked about Aaron Jones. Just mentioned Nick Bolton.
Yeah, let's see who else I got here. I see on the Jets side, they're also re-signing another one of their defensive players, Sherwood, for 3 years for $45 million.
Yeah, they're holding on to those guys to try to get some more guys here. Looks
Mm-hmm.
like the Lions have cut their defensive end, Darius Smith,
Mm-hmm.
saving $5.7 million in cap space.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how about this one? This was kind of a head scratcher. The Buffalo Bills have released edge rusher Von Miller.
Ooh, I was just about to say that. Yeah. It's just, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
been everywhere. He's like, how many teams has he been on now?
Well, I'm not sure. Let's see if I can get a beat on Von Miller and see where he's been in his very interesting career here. Let me
Yeah.
type that.
I know he was with the Broncos. I'm trying to remember where else he
Uh,
was.
yeah, Von Miller. He's been in the league for quite some time now. Let's see here. Okay, he's active here. He's played well. Where is he? Where is his stats? Let's see. Let me get his Okay. Well, looks like he came into the league in 2011 with Denver, played until 2001, 2021. Then he got traded mid-season to the Rams. Then at the end of 2001, he played for the Bills.
Uh-huh.
So basically, only three teams that he's been with. So Von Miller is being released. So if there's a team out there that really needs an edge rusher, who are you looking at?
Hmm. Gotta think of teams who had like a really rough season. Hmm. I think I'm kind of looking at maybe the Titans since they got the first overall pick. They were statistically the worst team this whole season. Yeah,
Right.
maybe the Patriots. Kind of looking at teams kind of rough one. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, Titans, Patriots, maybe the Browns. Yeah, some teams that had like really rough seasons.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. Looking here, I'm looking at Fox Sports, right? FoxSports.com. March 8th, the Saints adjust Derek Carr's contract, converting most of the remaining 2 years on the 4-year deal. Made $150 million deal into a signing bonus.
Hmm.
Commanders re-signed Zach Ertz, who mentioned him. Chiefs re-signed wide receiver Hollywood Brown to a 1-year, $11 million deal.
Ooh, oh, interesting one.
If he can stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Vampire says. Three illusions from today's news. 49ers, Bengals, and Cowboys are over. Yeah, of course, Cowboys. Purdy, Chase, Higgins, and Parsons deals getting more expensive by the second after the money Allen Garrett Metcalf got. Yeah, Josh Allen. Did we mention him?
I think he did briefly. Yeah, I think he's now going to be the highest paid quarterback, I believe.
What, more than Dak? He's got himself a very, very, very awesome deal here. Let's go back to the message. It says here, it's a $6,330,000,000 extension.
Mm.
So I guess most guaranteed money. I think Vampire's right. He's not the highest paid, but he's got the most guaranteed money. So the highest paid is still Dak.
Oh, okay, right.
So we're gonna try to. Yeah, we're gonna need to help. Hey, Vampire. If you're available, and if you would like to join our show, I could send you a link, and if you'd like to join the show, beating the record that was held by the pervert in Cleveland by 20 million. Oh, are we talking about Deshaun Watson?
Oh yeah, he definitely is.
Oh, Deshaun. Over
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Amazing. All these moves are flowing in, and the free agents see hasn't officially begun yet. That's going to be May 12th when all the like pending free agents are officially free agents.
Yeah, that's going to be this coming Wednesday.
Yeah. So maybe the
Okay.
14th potentially we could have a whole like free agent frenzy show. Look at the guys that are off the board, like quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I've been kind of looking for a website. I think Flynn had one, or somebody else did, or maybe one of the guys on the Painter Game Pick'em show. I think they had a website that had a whole list of players and their contracts and all that. So let's see
Ah.
here. Oh yeah, I gotta get this thing back up on my laptop right now, so I'll be able to capture the link so I can send him to Vampire. He can join us and
Right.
he'll give us all the detail. Vampire, he is a huge follower of the Pain Game Pick'em show, so
Right.
I'm sure he's got a lot to about, and he's from across the ocean.
Yep.
So be interesting to get his opinion on all these deals going on right here. So let's see if I can give him the link and bring him on the show. And anybody else who wants to join the show, if you want to talk about any of this stuff, I'll send the link here and get you on the show, and we'll let you sound off.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So copy that right there. And here is the link, folks. Pop that in there. There you go. Let's we'll highlight this right here. There you are. If any of you want to talk about some deals and stuff that hasn't been talked about yet, or if you want to sound off on something that has been talked about, give your honest opinions, this is our link right here. Look at the bottom up there. Oh boy. I don't know what's wrong with me, but anyway, there's the link. Come up and see us sometime. Well, actually, you can come up and see us tonight because got a lot to talk about here.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Cowboys, they did a couple of good things. They restructured. I think first they restructured C.D. Lamb's contract. Then they restructured Dak Prescott's contract, so now the Cowboys have a little bit over, just a shade over $56 million in cap space. So, hold up. Okay, here. All right. Let's go ahead and bring Vampire in here. Vampire, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey, go ahead and sound off, buddy.
I just find it hilarious the last shred of dignity that the pervert had with the highest guaranteed contract is now gone.
I hear you. So let's go. Let me go back to this one page here and take a look at the Bills re-sign defensive end Greg Rousseau. The reported terms is 4 years, $80 million with $54 million guaranteed.
Woo!
The Cincinnati Bengals have re-signed their tight end Mike Gesicki. I can't even pronounce that name correctly.
Yeah, Gesicki.
Gesicki. 3 years, 3 years, $25.5 million on that one.
Why
Uh-huh.
the hell have they done that? He's
All
a
right. Bum. Oh, I'm sure you're gonna like this, Vitaly, and
Uh-huh.
if Flynn may be watching. The Giants have re-signed their quarterback Tommy DeVito to a 1-year, $1.03 million deal.
Yeah, that one I did hear. Yep, one more year of Tommy Cutlets. But yep, he's doing the thing. That's right. He's doing the thing.
Doing their thing, making their money,
Yeah,
making
but
their
now it
money.
remains
There
to
you
be
go.
seen if he's gonna be their QB1 or if they're gonna like sign a free agent. Like they're saying like supposedly Aaron Rodgers' name was in the mix. But I personally don't want to see that. He's too old. He should just retire at this point. I think they're just better
That's
off
what I
going to
say.
the draft, either draft or Tommy DeVito. But my personal preference would be the draft. Get Cam Ward.
Now, the perfect guy for the Giants is bringing someone back to MetLife,
Yes,
just
that's
on
right.
the other side of the locker room, Sam Darnold.
Oh, Darnold, that's a good possibility too. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's a good choice. I could see that.
Sam Darnold to the Giants. Now that would be kind of an improvement right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. Yeah, I like that point. Yeah.
Well, anyway, back on Friday, the Chargers released their running back Gus Edwards, saving up $3.1 million of cap space.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
just
they
talked about.
have been. Yeah, the Chargers aren't the team they once were, but I mean, Justin Herbert's he's like so now. He's a middle of the road quarterback. I mean, we'll see.
And we talked about the Seahawks trading Geno Smith to the Raiders. We talked
Mm-hmm.
about that. The Bucks have re-signed their linebacker Levante David for a 1-year, $10 million deal.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent signing for them there.
Titans
Why do
release linebacker.
why do I have a
Yes.
funny feeling Russell Wilson's going back to Seattle?
Oh, interesting
That
point.
would be hilarious.
Oh, that's very interesting. I actually didn't think about that at all. Well, that's a very good thought there. Yeah, the Seahawks do need a quarterback, so yeah, we'll see.
Wilson back
Wait,
to the
I'm curious now. I want
Seahawks.
to see who their backup quarterback is. I forgot his name. I got to look this up now.
Sam Howell.
Okay, that's right. Yep, Sam Howell. That's right.
Sam Howell, the former Commanders quarterback.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
definitely not him. He's definitely not their star, right? That's definitely not happening. Oh yeah, that's the point. Yeah, if they don't go to the draft, yeah, maybe a Russell Wilson reunion isn't entirely crazy. That could happen, maybe.
Because I highly doubt they want to throw a rookie out behind whatever that with whatever they're trying to call an offensive line.
Hmm. No, that's right.
and
Yeah, there's only a couple quarterbacks available in that first round. So probably they won't go the QB route. I doubt it. They'll probably trade or sign a free agent.
Then
also, the Tennessee Titans released linebacker Harold Landry, which saves up $11 million in cap space for the Titans.
Hmm.
is it the 2026 or the 2027 draft that Arch Manning is due to come out in?
I think it's 2026, but don't quote me on that. But he's very close. He could be here pretty soon.
Yeah, so Seattle are probably going for him.
Oh yeah, maybe it could very well happen.
Okay, looking back on the March 6th deals here. Speaking of the Commanders, they re-signed Bobby Wagner, their linebacker, to a 1-year deal worth up to $9.5 million with $8 million guaranteed.
Oh, yeah, that's a good pickup for them. He's been one of the best defensive players in the league.
And even if age does start to catch up to him, it's not really like 9.5 million is too big of a hit.
Might be. Let's see some other interesting names. Oh, the Jaguars, they released tight end Evan Ingram, saving up $5.98 million of cap space.
Yeah. Yeah, I never found him to be a fantastic player. And he was just okay when he was with the Giants.
Yeah, he's kind of, I'd say maybe average to maybe slightly below average.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams did re-sign a wide receiver, Tutu Atwell, to a one-year, $10 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting one here. A couple days ago, the Bengals give defensive end Trey Hendrickson permission to seek a trade. He is right now entering a one-year, $15.8 million deal. So Hendrickson is gets put on the trade block right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns restructure quarterback Deshaun Watson's contract, so that saves up $36 million in cap space for Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Another big time name being released: the Chargers releasing defensive end Joey Bosa.
Ooh, that's a bit of a surprise to me.
That was kind of a head scratcher right there, but the Chargers will that will save them up $25.36 million in cap space for them.
I haven't heard anyone else, but apparently Miami are going to go all in for Joey Bosa.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that's possible. Yeah, they could use an upgrade on the defensive side. I could see it.
I could see that as a very tasty deal in Miami right there. And let's see here. The Eagles, they re-signed their linebacker Zach Vaughn, who is one of the best defensive players in the NFC right now. He's got the reported terms would be 3 years, $51 million. So very, very well done. The Raiders decided to re-sign their defensive end Max Crosby for 3 years at $106.5 million.
Very well deserved.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they needed
And,
someone like that.
outside of Brock Bowers, he's literally the only reason to watch the Raiders at this moment in time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, the Raiders. Let's go here. The Seahawks released their veteran wide receiver Tyler Lockett, which saves up $17 million cap space.
Overrated.
Yeah, this team they're definitely gonna be in rebuild mode this season. So yeah, now they're down to two. They lost two receivers already, so that means
Yeah,
basically Jackson Smith
they,
Najigba has solidified his spot as the top target.
they're all in on the Ass for Arch trade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know our good friend Alex Putnam, A Pizzle 90, is going to be interested to hear this. The Raiders have released quarterback Gardner Minshew, so it looks like Minshew Mania is going to be running wild somewhere else. But where?
Pittsburgh.
Where?
Pittsburgh.
Minshew to the Steelers?
Well, Wilson and Fields are impending free agents, and I haven't heard anything about a deal being made with either of those two.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything.
The rest of the free agency officially starts on the 12th, so we'll probably hear about things a couple days after that, roughly. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for news. March 12th, March 13th. That's when the whole thing begins.
Well, considering tampering starts tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
should probably start to hear about deals as soon as free agency opens.
Yep, true. Yeah, like the official opening is the 12th. Well, it'll be the 13th where you live, but yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it will be
Oh,
the
sorry, the other way around. My bad. The other way around. I got it backwards.
All right, let's see. We talked about the Jets releasing Devontae Adams. He, of course, now with the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, here's a good one for my boys. Oh, by the way, this new shirt, I got this for my birthday. This new shirt I'm wearing.
Nice.
One of
Nice.
yeah, one of my best friends gave it to me. So I say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cowboys re-signed defensive tackle Osa Odigizua. 4 years, $80 million with $52 million guaranteed. I like this guy.
Hmm.
He is a young defender. He may not be as fast as Micah Parsons. He may not be as big as DeMarcus Lawrence, but he can get the job done. I love this guy,
Mm.
and he can definitely do the job here. So at least Jerry did good on that there. The Eagles released quarterback safety James Bradbury, saving up $2.1 million cap space. Eagles released Darius Slade. That saved up $4.3 million in the cap
Mm.
space.
Well, that's interesting. They got rid of one of their veterans.
Yeah, he did. Looking at what's this? Yeah, we talked about Debo Samuel to the Commanders. That was on March 1st. February 28th. Let's see. Giants interested in signing Aaron Rodgers. But we already kind of talked about
Yeah.
that. Natalie, you're not too crazy about it.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting if it happens, but I think it's highly unlikely.
What? You're not overhyped at the prospect of a 41-year-old version of Grigory Rasputin?
Yeah. I mean, that would be something if it happens, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, at this point, I'll take anybody.
Yeah, that means that, I mean, if Aaron Rodgers does sign with the Giants, that means that once again Aaron Rodgers will be going to a particular stadium where he has never lost.
Oh, interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah, that's right. Aaron
Hmm.
Rodgers has never lost at AT&T Stadium.
Hmm.
So
It's
we'll probably have to.
it's even where he won his one ring.
Yep, where he won that Super Bowl ring. Looks like Rams are finally finalizing a new deal with Matthew Stafford. The reported terms are to be determined from this report from Jordan Schultz of Fox Sports. Uh, the Chiefs put the franchise tag on Trey Smith, their offensive guard, 1 year, $23.4 million. Bills re-signed wide receiver Khalil Shakir for 4 years at $60.2 million with $32 million guaranteed.
That dude is so underrated.
Yeah, that guy is. I think that guy is about superstar bound right there. Give him about another year or two, he is going to make some
He,
noise, take some names, and all that.
it, if the Pro Bowl was based on actual performance and not a popularity contest, Shakir 100% would have made it this past season.
All right, let's see what's here. The best right here. Panthers re-signed quarterback Andy Dalton to a 2 year, $8 million deal.
Huh. I'm surprised he's still around.
I am too. I mean, I think he should just hang it up. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
his best years was in Cincinnati, and after he left Cincinnati, of course, he played in Dallas, where didn't really do much there. Went to Carolina, didn't really do much there. I think he should just go ahead and just maybe pack it up.
It, it, Andy Dalton will probably be on the injury list for about 11 games, listed as doubtful with arthritis.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's been injured far too much. Time to wrap it up. He was good. He was good when he was with the Bengals, but that's it.
Good, good when he was with the Bengals, and I think he had like a 2 or 3 game insanity run with the Panthers
Mm-hmm.
when they benched Bryce Young.
Right.
Yeah. So looks like wow, look at this list here. I'm looking at the foxsports.com page. Tons and tons of free agents waiting to be signed. Sam Darnold looks like they may let him go on trade, or I don't know, just release him or whatever, because didn't tag him, didn't give him a contract extension, so looks like he may be out of there from Chris Godwin, wide receiver from the Bucks, he's still available. Khalil Mack, Najee Harris, running back for the Steelers. Of course, you mentioned Russell Wilson. Von Miller, we mentioned him. Aaron Rodgers. Stephon Diggs from the Texans, receiver there. We have Chase Young, the edge rusher for the Saints. Looking at some prominent names here. Amari Cooper, wide receiver for the Bills. And I saw this bull crap on Facebook for the last couple of days saying that Amari Cooper has re-signed with the Cowboys. That is not true. That is not true at all. They're just, I mean, I don't know who's making up this crap, but I mean, if it's not reported by Adam Schefter, if it's not coming out of the major wire, then I don't pay attention to it.
Right. Exactly.
Who else we got on free agency? We got Asante Samuel from the Chargers, Jawan Johnson from the Saints. Who else? J.K. Dobbins for the Steelers. J.K. Dobbins. I think the Chargers should try to get him an extension because he's a nice receiver there. Dante Fowler for the Commanders. I think they should try to re-sign him. DeAndre Hopkins for the Chiefs. He was as soon as they got Hopkins, I thought he was going to make some noise, but he was kind of, I guess, left in the background for a little bit. Although I think he did make a couple of good catches in the Super Bowl.
Here's a very notable name, and this is for Luke's Buffalo Bills, Damar Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin, interesting out there. Yeah, Justin Fields is there. Sam Darnold, Jameis Winston. I'm kind of looking at some quarterbacks. There's 7 quarterbacks available. We mentioned Darnold. We mentioned Justin Fields. Jameis Winston. Russell Wilson. Jacoby Brissett. Jimmy Garoppolo. Daniel Jones. I think with the addition of who was that one quarterback for the Giants that blew it up this year?
Drew Lock?
Oh, I can't remember who it was. He came in and it looked like it was going to be the end of it. What is that?
What are you talking about? This year or previous season?
Probably previous seasons, I think. Or maybe I'm thinking of Or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. I don't know. But the question is with Jameis Winston. I mean, he can run it and he can throw it, but can he stay healthy?
Right.
That's my concern here. Now we mentioned running backs. We had mentioned Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins, Rico Dowdle, running back for the Cowboys. If they say if you're looking for a rookie starter, you could do worse.
Right.
So yeah, Rico got his 1,000-yard season last year. So Kenneth Gainwell with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's basically just a backup player.
Yeah, because I could throw it, just give it to Barkley because Barkley's the guy. So, but he is a very solid backup. So, okay, I gotta ask about Nick Chubb.
Mm.
He's good. He's good when he's on the field, but the problem is he just keeps getting injured.
Yeah. Yeah. And if he keeps getting injured like this, then he might have to consider retirement.
Yeah, I think he's really got to think about his long-term health situations. So we talked about receivers. We talked Chris Godwin. We talked about Devontae Adams going to the Rams. Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, Hollywood Brown. We talked about here. Hey, what about one of your Giants players, Darius Slayton?
Yeah. I like him. I mean, I would hope he returns. I mean, he's really no more than like your backup first wide receiver now, but he's pretty good. I think he still has something left. Yeah, I'm looking at the names here. Another standout to me is Aziz Ul-Jawari. Yeah, he's been very solid for them since he's been drafted. I'd want to see him back. Yeah, Dory Jackson. Yeah, I don't see him coming back. Yeah, Jason Pinnock. That could probably go either way. Let's see. And the rest of these guys, I'm not too familiar with. Yeah, Tim Boyle. I highly doubt he returns.
How the hell did that man still have a job in the league?
Yeah, beats me. Drew
I'm
Lock could
looking at
potentially come back, but I don't see it happening. So I think they're going to either go to the draft or sign a different free agent.
okay. Mike Williams, wide receiver.
Yeah, for the Jets. Yeah,
Kinda,
maybe he might come back. We'll see.
maybe not.
Yeah.
How about a real good receiver, Elijah Moore?
Hmm. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Um, Keenan Allen. I mean, I'm looking at him, he's 33 years old. I think he's been in the league for a very long time. I'm kind of leaning toward. Maybe Keenan Allen going ahead and retire. I think.
Yeah, that's possible. Anybody from your team, Luke, that stands out to you for free agencies?
Let's see here. Let me look up top
Yeah, I think he's a
Cowboys
Bill. I think you're a Bills
agents.
fan, right, Luke?
I'm one of those 32 teamers,
Ah,
Buffalo and Green Bay.
gotcha.
Interesting. Let's see here. 2025. Dallas Cowboys free agents.
Yeah, I guess we can check out
I
some.
know. Yes. Here's a good website that I really need to pay attention to. Blockingtheboys.com. Let's see here. We see Demarcus Lawrence. edge rusher. Let me click on that here. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's about 33 years old, but he only played in 4 games due to an injury. You expect him to have a market if he's healthy and he's clear to go. He's over his career, he's had 61.5 sacks and 21 forced fumbles. He could boost the pass rush if the Cowboys take him or if they let him go. And whoever else gets him, they will be very fortunate to have someone like him. We mentioned Rico Dowdle. For anyone to looking for a veteran quarterback, he could fit as a rotational player. Let's see here. Jordan Lewis. He can add to a secondary in need of a veteran slot corner. He's got man and zone coverage skills. He's played 8 seasons with the boys with 10 interceptions and 27 pass breakups. So he's a pretty good defender here. Edge rusher Chauncey Golston played a career high and 7 snaps here. And with that being said, all this information here, looks like we're going to get a little bit of extra help, guys. Because once again, walking the streets of somewhere in the Empire State, well, look who decided to join the party. It's our main man, John Flynn.
Hey, guys!
Hey.
I don't know if you can see me because the lights that are usually on when I get out of work are gone. So
see a very tiny bit. That's a very small speck, but yeah.
Yeah, but I thought I was gonna be on at like close to 10:10, but like I got out because of due to good behavior. So hence why I have 10 extra minutes on the pod with you guys.
Okay.
Oh,
yes.
Flynn, we have unpacked so much this last hour.
It's so much pre-tampering period activity already. It's like, what is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Like I said, we have just been unpacking a whole lot of stuff in this last hour. Talking about the different trades and the contract extensions and oh my goodness!
Yeah.
And the last 4 or 5 hours. I mean, stuff that's even happened today is just blowing my mind.
I said in the YouTube chat earlier, it's insane when you have a day with 4 big money moves, and the least notable of them is Devontae Adams to the Rams.
But I think Devontae Adams makes so much sense for the Rams because like you don't know what how much you're gonna get out of Cooper Kupp. So pairing Devontae Adams, who had a tremendous second half last year, and then you pair him up with Puka Nacua, who is probably a top 5 to 7 wide receiver in the National Football League, and have those two be in lockstep in McVay's offense. I mean that's a fantastic pickup by Les Snead, and look, the Rams were basically one big throw away from going into Philadelphia in the snow and beating the Eagles in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the Rams are going to be the Rams are going to be in the conversation to go to the Super Bowl next year, because when you factor in with obviously Stafford staying, which is kind of big, and then you factor in the Cup situation and the Devontae Adams situation.
I've seen that it's unlikely that Cooper Cup will be returning with the Rams.
Cooper Kupp has already played his last snap as a Ram. We know that right now. So it's gonna be a matter of where he's gonna go. Yeah, and that's in addition with the Rams, so the emergence of young studs on the defense like Jared Verse, the defensive rookie of the year, and Braden Fisk. This is a Rams team that I think you might go into enters tomorrow's tampering period as being the favorite in the division.
Yeah.
Well,
definitely.
yeah, they almost certainly the favorites in the division. Just look at what the rest of the division is. The inconsistent as hell 49ers, the forgettable Cardinals.
I think the 49ers are going to be one of the teams you talk about for the playoffs because they're going to get better, definitely.
They'll be better than they was this season, but probably not more than a wild card better.
Yeah, because I think every year there's usually like several new teams that make the playoffs, and there's usually like two or three the teams that missed the playoffs the previous season, each conference that make it the following year, and San Francisco is definitely a prime candidate for that.
Well, one team that is certainly not a prime candidate for that, though, is another team in their division. I think I mentioned this earlier with the other two. Is it safe to say that the Seahawks have decided to be asked for?
I mean, I didn't understand why the DK we'll get to Metcalf in a second, but I didn't understand trading Geno Smith because in a league in a market where there's so many that need a quarterback that it's hard to justify this from a Seattle perspective. And now I mean they're gonna try for Sam Darnold, which I think is a downgrade when you really think of it, because it's Sam Darnold. So as great a season he had the benefit of having Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and Aaron Jones, who by the way signed a contract extension today. He had the benefit of having those three surrounding him, and also T.J. Hawkinson. But if he goes to Seattle, like he's got Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is an excellent wide receiver, and I think, and he's going to be in line for a big contract extension when he's eligible next year. So, but then you're also thinking Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. And you really have to think about Seattle being in the wide receiver business coming up in the draft, with what their situation is like.
I don't think so. What's the point in having a wide receiver when you're going to be under pressure after 1.5 seconds each snap? That O-line is absolutely dour.
I mean the Seahawks. So I mean I can attest as a Giants fan. The Seahawks offensive line was one of the two worst O lines that the Giants saw all year, and Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence made them look like pawns compared to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And of course the Giants won both of those games against Cleveland and Seattle. The two meaningful games they won all year.
So let's see here.
And speaking of NFC teams that can make the playoffs next year, did you guys talk about the Bears at all?
Briefly.
I think we talked about them briefly.
So, I mean, the Bears had a phenomenal week. They traded with the Rams for Jonah Jackson, and they traded for Joe Tooney, who was pretty much the reason the Chiefs were able to regroup and get to the level offensively they needed to get past Buffalo in the AFC Championship game.
As a fan of another NFC North team, I can tell you this with absolute certainty. They do this shit every single year. Champions of the off season, champions of the off season, champions of the off season. Oh look, they've gone 5-12.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So, I think Caleb Williams is more is a better fantasy commodity now than he was a week ago because he's going to have better protection and better pass protection. So which was a problem for him last year because one of them was that he was holding the ball on for too long and that was a Shane Waldron problem. Now Ben Johnson in there, and Ben Johnson knowing the importance of having a talented offensive line. I think those two were no brainers for the Chicago Bears, and as Ryan Poles has gotten some slack, he has done a pretty decent job of building this Bears roster and turning it over after the days of Ryan Pace.
So we talked about Bengals putting the franchise tag on T. Higgins right there. And they got to try to get him signed.
They're such an unserious organization, Tim.
I mean, this is the same owner who kept Marvin Lewis there all those years, made 7 playoff appearances and never got a playoff win.
The Bengals are the real losers of the DK Metcalf trade, though. Not only have they now got to go up against him twice a year, but just imagine the contract T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are going to be demanding, seeing the money DK got.
Yeah, but I can't. I mean, well, first of all, yeah, that's a really good point about the T. Higgins contract, but like, I really don't understand the big contract by the Steelers. Yes, DK Metcalf isn't. I've loved DK Metcalf since the draft process in 2019. I begged the Giants to draft him in the second round of the draft early on. He fell all the way to the end of the second round because of so-called character issues that were around him during the build-up to the draft. But you see his speed, you see his physicality. He's very much up there, but to pay him $150 million for not even being a top 15 wide receiver, I think is beyond delusional.
That is actually the highest per year contract in the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, in the history of the Steelers, yes. And but I kind of think thinking back last year when the Giants traded with Carolina for Brian Burns, said that the Giants traded a second and a fifth with Carolina to get him after the Rams offered 2 first-round picks for him, and the Panthers foolishly said no. Then the Giants gave him $150 million for a contract extension. Now, I like it if Brian Burns was maybe the second best player on the Giants last year behind Dexter Lawrence, and maybe the third best behind him and Malik Neighbors. So, but I think it speaks to the importance of building through the draft, and that's what Philadelphia has done. That's what Green Bay has done. That's what Baltimore and Kansas City have done. I mean, with all these contracts, that it speaks to the importance of building through the draft, and that's why those teams are going to remain among the best in the league because of drafting and coaching these guys up and getting them to buy into a culture that they'll like. So, I mean, it's also crazy, guys, that the same teams every year are around us.
Yeah. I mean, mean, going into this off season, I was kind of asking myself, what does Howie Roseman do for an encore? And he just took the first step by signing Saquon Barkley to that awesome deal.
Yeah, the thing about Howie Roseman, and this goes all the way, and this was a pattern that I've been following for years now. That so that the year when Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott were both started talking about contract stuff, that said that Roseman extended Carson Wentz. It didn't turn out to be the right move because Carson Wentz was run out of town 2 years afterwards, and that, but it really speaks home that like how much recognizing that that commodities only increase in value as time goes along, that they increase in price. So getting it at the price now will benefit someone like him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also speaking of the Steelers wide receiver room, who knows what this is going to mean with George Pickens, because there have been. I mean, safe to say, you can't say that the George Pickens experience has been satisfying because George Pickens has had some issues off the field as well, which kind of played into why his draft stock sank so much in the lead up to the draft in 2022. But it's definitely up there. That what are they going to do with Pickens? Are they going to flip him to somebody like New England?
I would love to be a fly on the wall watching DK Metcalf and George Pickens fight for the number 14 jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
and we mentioned something that you informed us earlier when Josh Allen 6-year, $330 million contract extension with the Bills. The largest guaranteed money in history. Not quite the highest paid quarterback. That's a little bit behind Dak Prescott, but still, with the awesome year that Josh Allen had last year, I think he deserves every penny.
$20 million more guaranteed than the Browns gave the pervert, which was the
Deshaun
previous
Watson.
record before today.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna also make a point about that because Josh Allen was the only player on his team named to an All-Pro team. So that there are 50 writers and around the end that voted on these awards, and he was the only player on the Bills to be named to be the first or second team All-Pro, and he was the second team All-Pro quarterback behind Lamar Jackson. Now, I like that the voters got it right by naming him MVP and naming Lamar Jackson first team All-Pro because sometimes people don't understand what the word value means when it comes to voting for MVP. Luckily, the voters got that right. But yes, Josh Allen is worth every single penny. He'll remain the first or second best quarterback in fantasy. I really wonder after the seasons Lamar and Allen had last year when they're gonna go in fantasy drafts during the summer. I suspect that they'll be gone. That they'll be the only two quarterbacks. Maybe Jalen Hurts might have something to say with this as well. Let's see what happens with the tush push stuff during the off season. But those are the only two quarterbacks really that are worth drafting in the first couple of 2 or 3 rounds in the draft. So, do you guys agree?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of makes sense to me.
Pretty much.
It might be. Another big thing: the Aaron Jones $2 million contract, 2-year extension.
Yeah, I think we Yeah, I think we talked. I mentioned that a little bit, but I think the
Yeah.
Vikings are doing the right thing here. Aaron Jones made this offense more multi-dimensional for the Minnesota Vikings. So I think they're in a good spot there. Um. So did we talk about Christian? Did you guys talk about Christian Kirk being traded to the Texans at all?
Yes, I believe we did mention it earlier. Your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I mean, one of the things I put down for the lessons we learned in fantasy last year is that you have to hit on some of your lower level picks in the second half of your draft, and like I mentioned Shepard Hubbard, I mentioned Darnell Mooney. I think Christian Kirk has a great chance to be to finish as a top 32 wide receiver in fantasy this season because if you look at the Texans situation that the Texans got rid of Slowick, so they brought in one of McVay's assistants to be the offensive coordinator. He's going to bring a lot of the concepts so that McVay has taught in LA. I think it's going to be a more passing heavy offense. I think it's going to be an offense where we're going to have to rely on the slot receiver a lot, and Christian Kirk fits that bill a lot for a team like the Texans. And I think it's also going to be a pivotal year 3 for CJ Stroud because he had the offensive rookie of the year last year or 2 years ago. And then last season, he kind of had more of a sophomore slump. Part of it had to do with bad offensive line play and the injuries to Tank Dell and Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs all missing time here. But Stephon Diggs is out of Houston. He's not going back to Houston. Tank Dell is still recovering from the gruesome looking knee injury he suffered in December in the game against the Chiefs. And now
I'm pretty sure he's going to miss a majority of 2025 thanks to that.
Tank Dell. Yeah, so that means there's an opportunity there for Christian Kirk to really make a name of himself when he's being covered by the other team's second best corner when the other team's top lockdown corner is going to be focused in on Nico Collins.
Take a look.
So Christian Kirk is going to be a name that you're probably going to have to think about when you're planning out for your drafts this summer.
Uh-huh. Okay. What? I just saw something here. Yeah, we talked about the Kirk trade. Talked about Metcalf.
Can we talk about the Browns?
Must we?
Oh yeah.
Must we?
I don't know if I should laugh or if I should cry with this because
I agree.
I mean what like come on, Browns, what are we doing here? That look, Myles Garrett is going to go down in history as one of the greatest to ever play his position of defensive end edge rusher. So he's been defensive player of the year twice. He is well on his way to the Hall of Fame, and he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and it'll happen 5 years after 5 or 6 years after he officially retires. But listen, the Browns were 3-14 last year. They're so their salary cap hits. Their salary cap situation is really bad for the next 3 years. Because you have all that guaranteed money towards Deshaun Watson, who doesn't give a damn about football anymore, and instead of trading and getting multiple first round picks in return, a chance to really reset your franchise, really reset your organization by building through the draft, and you extend Myles Garrett. And look, Garrett is great as I mentioned, but $40 million a year for someone like him, $40 million is a lot, and having someone get to the quarterback is important, but $40 billion, sheesh. Like it's totally asinine, and it really hones down to how unserious of an organization the Cleveland Browns are. They are dysfunctional. They are rudderless. They are clueless, and they fell into the trap that Myles Garrett and his agent, which we're trying to set in negotiations, and they give him the money.
I I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, but I mean,
So
how?
like so, it's about, but like thing is the Browns are the second overall pick. And the perfect guy for them was Abdul Carter from Penn State. He would have been the perfect replacement for Myles Garrett. Instead, that they pay him $40 million a year, and instead they're gonna draft a quarterback who isn't gonna be in the likes of Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. I cannot believe the Browns did this.
I cannot believe the Browns did this either. In fact,
That is why they're the clowns of the league.
in fact, I have a message to the Browns.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Basically,
Pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to wrap my head around this whole Cleveland Brown thing. I mean, it's almost damn near impossible. I just can't fathom that right here. Glenn, I was wanting to get your opinion on the Chiefs re-signing their linebacker Leonard Bolton. He got 3 years at $45 million with $30 million guaranteed.
I think you have to take care of your players. I think he's an important piece to that defense, and he played really, and he's been a big reason why the Chiefs defense has been so good. So why not give him the money?
No, why not? Why not? So with the Bills releasing Von Miller, saving up $8.4 million in cap space, where do you think he could go?
I mean, Washington makes a lot of sense because we figured that Washington would be a perfect fit for Myles Garrett, and that now someone else like who can get up to the quarterback like Von Miller, because Washington really needs dudes on that defense, and it is a much more desirable free agent destination now than it was 2 years ago when Dan Snyder was still owning the team. So I could see how he winds up in Washington. I could see how he winds up in Detroit.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Okay, I want to talk about one of the. This whole situation has pretty much been at the forefront for the last month and a half now. The chances that Aaron Rodgers could go to your New York Football Giants.
I think you look at Rodgers, and I think the case is clear for why the Giants should pick Aaron Rodgers, because if you look at the last 10 games of the season last year, 223 passing yards per game, 18 touchdowns, 4 picks. Overall in the season, his PFF grade was 77.8, which ranked 18th among in the NFL, which would be better than the quarterbacks of at least 14 other teams in the league. So of course it makes sense for Rodgers to do this and go for the Giants to go after Aaron Rodgers. But in the last 12 hours, there has been reporting and rumblings that maybe Rodgers doesn't want the Giants, and because it's because of the reputation that the Giants have taken among among the other executives and agents, given that John Mara clearly put the has put Joe Shane and Brian Dable's seats on fire in the hot seat. I mean, I vehemently disagree with that, given that I think Dable is an excellent offensive mind, and even though the results aren't there, I kind of do like Shane's approach. It hasn't worked out. Absolutely not. The Giants went 3-14 last year. But obviously all the needs start with the Giants at quarterback, and I do trust Joe Shane when it comes to trades, and there have been rumblings, of course, that the Giants are going to try and trade up with Tennessee to get that #1 overall pick, which pretty much means the Giants will take their quarterback of their choice. I personally want Cam Ward over Shedeur Sanders if the Giants do draft quarterback. It's not the prescribed method yet, because maybe the Giants sign someone in free agency and build through the draft, build and get your franchise quarterback as well. But look, Tennessee. I think the Giants have more leverage than Tennessee on this front, because I think because Tennessee needs a quarterback, but they have a lot of other needs as well. I think as bad as the Giants situation was last year, I think Tennessee is arguably worse.
Okay. Speaking of the Giants, they re-signed their quarterback Tommy DeVito 1 year at $1.03 million.
I mean, the Giants have a quarterback on the roster, the quarterback under contract when tampering starts.
All right.
So I mean that's the only real positive thing about this right now, because because of how poorly DeVito has played. I mean, other than the Green Bay game on Monday night a couple of years ago, it's not really been that inspiring.
I'd like to try and forget about that one.
Yeah. So let's see here. Let's see. I'll take a couple of the. According to NFL.com, I'm looking at right now, there's 3 good edge rushers who are on the free agent list. Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick, and Khalil Mack.
Yeah, whoever Josh Sweat lands with is going to get a stud, because if you look at how Josh Sweat played in the Super Bowl against that KCO line, he's gonna command a $20 million plus a year contract from somebody, and I think that Philadelphia is going to let him go because the Eagles have so much depth on that defensive line that they can afford someone like Josh Sweat to go ball out somewhere else.
Breaking news, the Commanders have decided to bring back both of their tight ends from last season. They have agreed a 3-year deal with John Bates, blocking tight end who had 61 catches for 592 yards last season.
Oh. So they got both their tight ends. Of course, you mentioned Zach Ertz earlier.
Yeah, and I'm sure you mentioned Deebo Samuel being traded to Washington as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we definitely said that.
Can you really imagine that? Can you imagine Deebo Samuel and Scary Terry McLaurin on the same line?
I mean, that only helps Terry McLaurin, Jaden Daniels, fantasy stock, which is already as high as it's been for rookie, for someone coming off his rookie season in quite some time. Now you have somebody like Debo Samuel, who could bring a lot of concepts in from his time in San Francisco to really help out in the process. So of course it makes sense for somebody like Debo to go to Washington, but really the root of all these problems began when the 49ers bungled their wide receiver situation following in last offseason where they drafted Ricky Pearsall that they gave the extension to Ayuk and Debo wanted an extension as well, but they couldn't trade him. So this made no sense to me from San Francisco, but the 49ers are in a position to improve, and they could and now they have Ricky Pearsall and Brandon Ayuk, which is still pretty decent. So I think Ricky Pearsall's fantasy value is gonna be pretty good, and I wouldn't overlook Ricky Pearsall by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh yeah, I can keep an eye on that guy.
And then also see if Christian McCaffrey is gonna look anything like his old self. I mean, I doubt that he'll ever return to 2023, but I think you might be closer to 2023 than he'll be in 2024, depending on how he looks in minicamp and in training camp. That Christian McCaffrey is going to be one of the cases in fantasy that we're really going to have to monitor during minicamp.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that. See how well McCaffrey does there. Let's see here. I'm looking at what am I looking at? Looking at some corners and safeties that could be who are currently free agents right now. We talked about we did mention Zach Bond re-signing with the Eagles.
Yeah,
We really need him.
yeah, we mentioned Zach Bond. I mean, I think I mentioned it on the Hot Topics the last time. So and that I had Zach Bond as a first rounder in my very first Hooked on Sports mock draft in 2020. Is that I actually had him going 26th overall. He fell all the way to the third round of that draft, and he was relegated to just part-time duties with the Saints before Vic Fangio turned him into a Defensive Player of the Year candidate last year.
Hmm. Let's see what I can look at here. Let me figure out this name here. Stephon Gilmore.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, he's someone that I think should make sense for a team like Cincinnati.
Looking at some safeties. Let's see here. Let me go back to the running backs. We talked about Aaron Jones. We talked about what about Najee Harris? And we did mention J.K. Dobbins. We did talk about Kenneth Gainwell, a very formidable backup to Barkley over there in Philly.
I mean, not exactly a formidable free agent class compared to last year. Like the thing about last year was that you had such an abnormally strong amount of talent at the running back position in free agency. I mean, we talked about Saquon Barkley, we talked about Derrick Henry, and we knew. From the moment they signed with Philly and Baltimore respectively, they would be instant contributors, and they were two of the top running backs in the National Football League last year.
Right.
This year, there's not exactly a difference-making running back in that'll be available this year. That a lot of them are going to be that if you want a running back this offseason, you're probably going to have to draft one, and there are a lot of good ones out there. Just starting with Ashton Genty, and you look at Travion Henderson from Ohio State, Cam Scadaboo, who has a lot of Christian McCaffrey like qualities coming out of Arizona State, so was thrust into the spotlight in the Peach Bowl in the CFP last year.
Ashton Genty should have won the Heisman. That was a robbery.
A lot of people saying that Cowboys might take him if he's still available at number 12, but I seriously wouldn't want to do that because I think.
But hey, the Cowboys have cap space this year.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So you have that. So
They got all the money they need to go all in.
There is a possibility, because I'm just thinking right now, since, one thing we did not mention on this whole show, speaking of the Cowboys, Jack Martin announced his retirement earlier this week. After 11 seasons in the league, all of them with the Cowboys. As I said, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Zach Martin was probably the greatest offensive lineman the Cowboys had since the late, great Larry Allen. I say Zach Martin is first ballot Hall of Famer.
With how many times he's been on the All-Pro teams, yeah, you bet he's going to be.
Yeah. 100% first ballot.
Maybe if the Cowboys could draft another offensive lineman, because that's a big hole that's going to have to be filled this year. Not sure what could happen there, but from me, a diehard Cowboy fan, and all Cowboy fans everywhere, thank you, Zach. Enjoy your retirement. God bless you and your family. We did get this one note earlier from our man Alex Portman. Said the Cowboys and safety Marquise Bell has agreed to terms on a 3-year deal with a max value of $12 million per sources. We need to hold on to all of our safeties and try to get some, because like I've said for the last 20 years, the secondary has always seemed to be a bit injury prone. So maybe drafting another corner, another safety may help the Cowboys. I don't know. So who else can we talk about, man? Like I said, Glenn, we unpacked so much stuff before you were able to come on. I mean,
yeah.
It's been a crazy week. Today's been a crazy day.
Yeah. So I'm trying. So have you gone through the best available wide receivers in free agency yet?
I think we went through them here. Let me click on the receiver tab here. We talked about Chris Godwin.
So yeah, after T. Higgins getting franchise tag, Chris Godwin's the number one receiver, and I think he's going to get a $25 million plus a year contract from somebody.
Oh my gosh, I hate when my throat gets dry like this. Of course, we mentioned Devontae Adams to the Rams. Amari Cooper.
I'm like his value really sank, was surprisingly in Buffalo. I thought it was going to be because I got excited about Amari Cooper after the Miami game against the Dolphins in November, but he was acting as a double agent the rest of the season. And I don't know why the Bills didn't utilize him more in the AFC Championship game.
What about?
Speaking of receivers, did you talk about Khalil Shakir yet getting that contract extension?
I think we did
Yeah,
mention
yeah,
that.
we did. We did.
Yeah,
We did. I was arguing for him to be an All Pro, and no, that's not entirely totally biased. Why on earth would you think that?
he's definitely not an all pro, but he makes all the big catches. So the Josh Allen's completion percentage when targeting him is terrific. It is one of the best in the entire league. And like without Khalil Shakir, the Buffalo's offense didn't have many sources of help for Josh Allen. Now he did have an excellent offensive line because the Bills gave up the fewest sacks in the NFL last season during the regular season. But none of those guys were named all pros, including Deion Dawkins.
Right.
I am a little concerned about what's going to happen with James Cook.
Well, James Cook is going to be a top 15 running back next season, so, and he should be, he should be a second or third round pick in most fantasy settings next year.
Right.
Yeah, but then he's going to command all of the money.
And as he should.
What about the Chiefs wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown?
I think he would be good. He would be good as well. But is he worth $15 million a year? That's kind of hard to decipher.
Yeah, my footnote on that one was if he stays healthy.
Right.
What about Darius Slayton from your Giants?
If the Giants Darius Slayton is one of the longest tenured Giants, but I have no problem with him leaving. I'll let him walk because like he drops too many passes, and he's not at the same level of receiving as others in this free agent class.
Right. What about the veteran Mike Williams?
I think Mike Williams might be in as a wide receiver 3 on a team.
How about Keenan Allen? I said he could probably just retire.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as you.
He should retire, but if someone's willing to offer him stupid money on a 1-year deal, no reason not to take it.
Yeah.
That's probably, but it'd only be worth maybe 1 year if someone picked him up. What about going back to the Chiefs? How about DeAndre Hopkins?
I think he's got to be a must keep for the Chiefs. Honestly, after the Xavier Worthy situation, we don't know what that's going to be like.
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention him. Yeah, this came out. This was yesterday. We got the news that Chiefs receiver Xavier Worthy was arrested on felony domestic violence charges. I don't think I know all the extended details on that one.
I'm not sure exactly who it was, but I know he was found choking someone.
Let's see, it was Friday night. He was arrested Friday night in Williamson County, Texas. I'm not sure exactly where that is. It's a third-degree felony punishable by up to between 2 to 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine.
Williamson County is just north of Austin.
is north of Austin, so that's quite a distance from me. So, because I'm up in the northeast part of the state. I'm sure there's going to be an investigation, and if things go the way I'm afraid they might, then I could probably see some action taken by the league, if not by the Chiefs. I'm sure the Chiefs may have something. But
It's crazy for the Chiefs. The Chiefs with all their on-field success, like their off-the-field stuff is the exact opposite of that.
yeah, crazy about that here. A couple more. There's a couple of more receivers I wanted to mention to you, Flynn. What about Josh Palmer?
So he doesn't thread and it doesn't move the needle.
Okay. And what about Deontay Johnson?
I mean, Deontay Johnson's he's had quite a downfall the last couple of years. Being a reliable target, a weapon for the Steelers, and then being traded to Carolina, then seemingly used invisible powers with the Ravens.
And
He could be in. Oh yeah, that's right. And Houston too. I think I forgot about that. But maybe he's gonna be a good bounce back candidate. Maybe if a team's wide receiver room is not that good, maybe he could be a viable fantasy option in the late rounds of the draft. But not he's not exactly Jerry Rice. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, there's holy cow.
That's the tally.
Not again. Jeez.
Yeah. I almost sounded I was listening to a rattlesnake.
I'm sorry to any headphone users.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this computer's been nothing but problems lately. I'm trying to use my phone, but it's charging. I figured I would switch to the computer, but that didn't work. All right, let me switch back to the phone.
And your screen is frozen anyway.
Yeah. All right, let me switch back to my phone then. Be right back.
Yeah. All right, Dan. There's two notable tight ends that I mentioned earlier in the show. First one, Mike Gesicki.
Mike Gesicki apparently signed a 3-year, $25.5 million contract extension with Cincinnati.
Okay, so we got him locked in. Jawan Johnson.
I mean, we'll see where he lands before we make any before we come to any conclusions.
Who else have we? Okay, what about one of my guys, DeMarcus Lawrence?
He's a free agent, right?
Yep. He's coming off the dreaded list, the List Frank injury. He'll be turning 33 this offseason, and
33.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in the league for that long.
He's been in the league for quite a couple of years. I will go ahead and look up his name here on the ESPN search bar. Yeah, because he's been in the league for quite some time.
Yeah.
Let me see. He was he was the second round pick in the 2014 draft.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, there we go.
That's right. Yeah. So I think maybe D Law maybe going on the downswing maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think you also have to think about Dallas's ability to build through the draft because the Cowboys' college scout department is pretty good because they have a pretty good track record of success.
All right. Where's the page here? So so it looks like Joey Bosa being released. What was it? Los Angeles.
Yeah,
So, and there's talk that maybe he might be able to join his brother Nick in San Francisco.
I heard I've heard rumblings about that for a while now. Wouldn't that be something?
There's talks about San Francisco, but I'm leaning towards believing the source I heard earlier saying that Miami are going to throw the book at him.
Yeah, but I just am, but I'm trying to figure out like what the real problem is with the Dolphins because like their defense was solid last year, but but the reason why Chris Greer keeps is keeping his job is because he can justify his team not having Tua for that stretch in the middle of the season where the Dolphins offense looked totally feeble.
We
Right.
we all know A. Pizzle is a huge fan of Chris Greer.
Huh. Yeah, and so is Frank the Tank.
Yeah. Uh, what about
Oh, at Barstool.
Okay. Let's see.
Now, what the thing Miami need more than anything is a true, proven backup QB.
Yeah.
I've heard rumblings of maybe Marcus Mariota to Miami.
Yeah, him getting to throw the ball to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle would be dreamy for him.
might be.
Yeah, because it's never a comfortable subject to touch on. But can you really trust Tua to stay healthy for 17 games?
No.
Well, he has been
Exactly.
able to for a while now, so so unless anything changes, my meter is not changing with it either.
Yep.
Not going for or against, it's just staying neutral right now. Who else was I looking at here? Dante Fowler, free agent there for Commanders. He was pretty good with the Cowboys a few years ago before he decided to join his the former defensive coordinator, who of course is now the Commanders head coach, Dan Quinn. Just mentioned him earlier. I'm trying to think. Is there anybody? I don't think we missed anybody as far as big names are concerned.
Yeah. It's like speaking of free agency. Do you want to pull up everyone's cap space for our current cap situations before we sign out?
Let me see if I can look up somewhere where I can find that very information.
Yes. So I think if you go on to overthecap.com, I think that's that's where it should be.
Overthecap.com. Very, very nice. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's take a look at the NFL salary cap space of these teams here.
And maybe when you get that set up, maybe share the screen while you're at it because I don't have the share screening capability since I'm on the train, obviously.
Right. Okay, Gotta get this. If I can get this to cooperate here. There's a OTC.
Because with some of these signings before free agency, a lot the figures that I saw earlier this week are not up to date. So maybe we can get those up. Yeah, but I know like the Patriots have light years more cap space than the rest of the league. So although my argument for them is to keep building for the draft.
Right. Okay, so let's see what I can do here. Share the screen here. We will get the there's the page for the cap space. Let's go ahead, hit the share button. It should be popping up here.
Yes, sir. That's the one.
Alright, let me see what kind of adjustments I can make here. Let me see here. This is for 2025.
Yeah. Of course, salary cap of $279.2 million, which is an increase of $24 million from last year.
Alright, I think I've got it there good enough here. So the Patriots. Yep, you are correct. Active cap spending at 185.17 with only a little bit over 7.2 dead money. Take a look here now. Normally my Cowboys would be at the bottom of this list, but of course, since they decided to restructure both CD and Dak, they freed up about 56, just a shade over 56 million cap space right now. Right now, the cap space is at 54 million, just slightly over. Effective cap space is 49, almost 50 million right there. Look at the cap spending there.
Yeah, I wonder what the Jets. I think the amount of money that's going to be spent on guards the next few days is going to be absolutely absurd. So because there's a lot of good guards that are going to be available. So I think I'm going to be looking at the Jets, the Giants. I'll be looking at the Seahawks. I'm gonna look at Washington to all beef up the interior offensive lines tomorrow and Tuesday.
Well, looking at the Commanders, they're at 73.4 million in cap space.
And this is after adding Deebo Samuel and his $20 million cap hit.
All right. You mentioned the Jets. They're down here at just over 51.3 million.
Yeah.
And as we take a look at the rest of the league here. Here we got the Jets. Yeah, Raiders at almost 51 million. Bears at just over 45.5. There's your Giants here right at over 44 million.
But I think the Giants are going to have to focus should focus more on depth because they have a lot of holes on the roster. And I also wonder if the Giants are going to trade Bobby Okereke because there have been some rumblings that there's been some people in the Giants brass that disapprove of what they've been what he's been doing.
But as you can see right here, there are 5 teams that are already in the red. That's the Bills, the Bucks, the Falcons, the Saints, and the Chiefs.
Yeah, and they're all gonna have to go under those marks when the league year starts. So who is Tampa going to cut or trade? What's going to happen with the with New Orleans Saints as well? Because I mean the Saints cap situation was already hellish, but they still have to do more more to comply with the cap.
It'll be interesting to see what the Texans do. They're the lowest team that is not in the red that are just in over 5.2 million cap space. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I think I may bookmark this one because
Yeah.
by the time we reconvene this coming Friday night, there's probably going to be a lot of changes in this.
Yeah. So what I think you should do is try to screenshot this, and then we maybe see it before and after come Friday.
That is the one thing that I'm not sure how to do. How to screenshot something on a laptop. I can do it on a cell phone, no problem.
Yeah.
But on a laptop,
If you have the snipping tool on your laptop, then that's how you do it. Most computers should come with that, but that could be something for after we get off.
Right, definitely. So, if I'm not mistaken, it's the 12th. It's either, what is it, Wednesday or Friday?
Yeah.
I think it's Wednesday.
Officially opens on the 12th.
Yes, so the free agent tampering period opens at noon Eastern tomorrow. And teams can make their contracts official as of 4 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday.
So that will be 8 p.m. for me.
Yes, that'll be 3 o'clock. That'll be 3 o'clock my time. So I'm gonna put a special mark on that date on my calendar there. So,
It'll be 1 p.m. where I live.
yeah.
But basically, you want 9 a.m. Western, 12 p.m. Eastern, because that's when the news is going to start to break about these contracts.
Yeah. So, well, if you think we unpacked a lot of stuff, hey, we're just getting started, y'all. Because when the league season starts on Wednesday, we're gonna be all in on this one. We'll be interested to see where these free agents go. If there's gonna be new signings, if they're gonna stay, or if they're gonna go. And we're just getting started with this off season, y'all.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very interested to see what the Vikings do with their, because they have a lot of cap space, and they have like JJ McCarthy and Daniel Jones as their quarterbacks, and a relatively good roster. So are they going to be in the market to upgrade at guard? Are they going to be trying to get someone fresh to replace TJ Hawkinson in the future? So those are going to be things to monitor.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot to monitor between now and when the league starts on Wednesday, and then we'll try to get everybody up to date this coming Friday at our regular time.
Yeah, and of course the fantasy impacts as well. With this.
Yeah, but it all just comes down to one thing.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Yep.
Yeah, sure does.
It sure does right there. So, I guess on that note, we will wrap up this edition of Fantasy Football Fever. Hey, I want to say a big thank you to Vampire Luke for joining us today.
Heck, I wanted to say thank you for bringing me on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you
Yeah,
are invited back anytime.
Good to know.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
and also thank you for stepping up in my absence the first hour of this. So
Yeah. Good job, buddy.
What an honor.
So Flynn, it looks like you're going to have a lot to unpack when you do your next Hook on Sports podcast.
Sheesh. I mean. To be fair, it's actually been a few weeks since I last did Hooked on Sports because like I've been like so winded down and like tied up with a lot of things at work. But yeah. But I mean, with March Madness coming up, I've spent way more time on college hoops than pretty much anything else over the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, I forgot that's coming up here. So
So a week from tonight is Selection Sunday, and it'll be the first Selection Sunday since the passing of Greg Gumbel, because like Greg Gumbel was the voice of Selection Sunday for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was. He was deeply missed. Greg Gumbel, one of the all-time greats. Well, anyway, we'll wrap up Fantasy Football Fever for this special edition. We'll be back at our regular time, our regular day, Friday night. Try to unpack the official stuff since the league year starts this Wednesday. We'll see if there's any serious movements, if there's any comings and goings. We'll let you know on that. So once again, thanks to the Vampire for joining us. And so be sure to look for a new podcast with Jonathan coming pretty soon, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, we'll go ahead and put a wrap on tonight's show. For Vampire Luke, for John Flynn, for John Natali, my name is Tim McKellen. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a great week. See you back here on Friday. God bless you. And as always, be a good sport.